Good evening, viewers. Thank you for joining us on Killer Entertainment TV, and welcome to Your Opinion, where we tackle the hottest topic in entertainment alongside with the viewers. So be sure to send in your opinion while the show goes on. Send us a message on WhatsApp or interact in our comment section as well. We'd love to hear from you. Today's topic is journalism is not a crime. Isaiah Shombo, a renowned Nigerian journalist and a founder of the Foundation for Investigative Journalism (FIJ), was detained by the 6th Division of the Nigerian Army in Port Harcourt, Rivers State. Shombo had been investigating allegations of corruption and human rights abuse within the Nigerian military. In a statement issued across a social media platform, Shombo had alleged that custom personnel had conspired with a smuggler to illegally pass about 2,000 cars and smuggled in bags of rice into the country. He had said the illegal operation was slated to take place on Sunday, November 10, 2024. Showing detained has highlighted the danger faced by journalists in Nigeria, who often risk harassment, intimidation, and even detention for doing their job. The incident has also raised concerns about the military involvement in civilians' affairs, and the erosion of press freedom in Nigeria. So, viewers, what are your opinions on this?
I would say it's a very very wrong move from the military because one, this person is a journalist. He has the legal rights to go through all this investigation he has been going through, and we've known Feishayo to be a renowned Fisayo, sorry, to be a renowned journalist. Very very respectful. His record is okay. The kind of undercover he does. For the army to let me use the word guts audacity to arrest him. There was even a point where they were even accusing him of being a smuggler and everything. But this case of people smuggling in things to the country, we are always fighting this every time. We are always fighting this. And if the custom now is the same people that are meant to protect us and apprehend these people are the ones now collecting bribe from them to do this kind of things because 200 car 2,000 cars filled with rice moving into the country. Wow, that's a very big one, I tell you, because I don't know how much they were able to pay these people for them to believe this is the right thing for them to do. Yeah. If we continue going like this, we continue doing this country is not going to be safe for everybody again. Because we complain about our Nigerian police, we complain about other authorities. To me, I see the custom to be one of the most authority that's the most public authorities that have the high rate of corruption because they are very very corrupt. Because most of where they do this corruption is where we don't really see them. That's why we don't have much say about this thing. Most of them work in the nights and the kind of remote place they work, people are not much there. That's why we don't really look into them. We always focus on the police because they're always at the public side doing things. It's very, very alarming. The government really needs to look into this. We really need to look into this, I tell you. And please, Fisher, I think he has been released already, I guess.
You know, Priscilla was actually, how would I just say it, a undercover journalist that actually go undercover to investigate a whole lot of things. I think the custom owns was actually some months ago, which he was involved, and then police harassment and all that. So this one presently that we are talking about is about an oil bunkering that was going on, which he was there to actually investigate some of this thing that is going on in the oil sector and all that. Which it was like the interview says that some of the military that wasn't get bribed. Imagine in Nigeria, a military has to be bribed because of they want to do an oil theft, and he was talking about an 80,000 of crude oil that would have just been theft and then go scot-free with the army personnel, the security that is there. It was easy for all those oil bunkers to actually come in there, bribe the military, and then take away oil. This thing is just something that I don't understand, because he says he was never arrested, because when the army was there, when they flashed their lights, he came out, and then so they detained him. What saved him is because even when he still said that he was not part of those bunkers, they still wanted to feel like they needed to do investigation, even if it's going to take them a month. Thank God for the technology that he even used to alert his foundation that this is where he was going. Nobody would have known that he could have still been there. Even if he's still defend himself, show out his ID card, they still like, we are still going to investigate this whole thing. But you people are not investigating people that came to theft oil, but you are investigating a journalist that actually told you that this is my work.
That was a journalist because he said it
Yeah, but after he has said so,
at the point he didn't want to even open up to people and tell
because it
them.
feels like Nigeria is not what to be trusted.
he said he doesn't trust anyone.
Imagine a Nigerian journalist saying that he didn't trust Nigerian, like Nigerian security, because I expected that some of this country, when in journalists needed to go into a place like this, they have the assistant of the military, they have the assistant of the police, or the security personnel actually go there with them in case of anything. But here in Nigeria, something like that is not happening, and then they still went ahead to detain him from 2 a.m. till 5 or 6. Like, I guess the most funniest part, before he says that he even comes out of the detention, those bunkers has already know that he is an undercover journalist, not actually part of the. Oh my god!
Definitely something that was actually discussed with the military. This ministry needed to go
So
and
they have
Oh my god!
feeding them
they linked
information.
it.
Oh my
Definitely.
god!
Now,
Oh my
now,
god!
now we all see the reason why he said he can't
He
trust
can't trust Nigeria.
the security institution.
This whole thing is something that we needed to look into. Those people are actually there saving life and then saving people at the same time. They shouldn't be harassed. So many Nigerian undercover journalists, let me just use them, David Hude, that is on exile. He's not even in Nigeria, but he's still doing his work. If you want to look out on his page, that is the only place that you're going to look at. So if you're going to be a journalist and then you want to be more available, you have a whole lot of tools that needed to be stepping on. That is what I'm saying, because why would they be feeling threat about a journalist instead of feeling threat about the terror release that is going on in the north, about those oil bunkers that is going on? They instead of all those people to bring to order, you are actually detaining a, a journalist, and then coming out to say that we caught him among those that is being an oil theft. It's not This is not just a small oil that you have, it's like a bulk oil.
Okay, so let me have this question. Besides Osongo was detained for simply doing his job as a journalist. How can we ensure the journalists are protected and able to do their work without fear of harassment or detention?
He himself says it had, even his own security was being embarrassed. Like, he in Nigeria is as if that if you wanted to do what is right, it's going to feel like as if that you are the how would I say, you are wrong in doing what is right in Nigeria.
You
Because
actually
this kind
mistake
of a
it.
person needed a security personnel that can actually protect him, because there are so many people that is going to feel he's a threat, but not him being a threat to the security, not the security personnel seeing him as a threat while he was trying to do his work. Almost all the journalists in Nigeria needed a security personnel. They needed the government approval for most of the things that is happening. Talking about the rice that is being, the custom is being allowed to smuggle in at night, that he was talking about. This thing needs the government to look into it, because it was his job. What the government does not know that is going on is what he's bringing to their table, and then they needed to look into it. The government has to at least assign, like, his safety and all is what is most needed. You can't actually feel like he's a threat to Nigeria while he's simply just doing his work. You can't. You need a security personnel.
Even the security personnel, they should even be encouraging these journalists, encourage them, because they are trying to make this work easy for them. Just that most of them are so they are so sold out. They sold out themselves to.
They'll rather receive a bribery from whoever that is smuggling in, oil theft and all that trying to actually protect those people that is revealing these things to them.
Just imagine the military coming coming to coming to meet those people because
They didn't bribe. He was not among those
they
that
were
was
not
being
among those
bribed.
that were being bribed. Just imagine
Like,
these
oh
people
my
that are
God,
meant to protect and eradicate
those type of a thing is not working in Nigeria. I think Nigerian working system is not in a balanced
see
state.
honestly I believe Boy needs to come out and mention names of these people if he has
He
names.
can't. He can't. Like
See, he needs to
his
make
life is going to be
no,
in a threat here.
he needs to mention name because
His life is
if
going to, unless he's going to be in an
yeah,
exile,
wait,
unless he's going to be in an exile, and that is just
if
it.
he doesn't mention names, we just keep walking in circles,
He
going in
never
Even
circles,
if
mentioned
even
names. He was
there
saying
was
only dates.
he mentioned there was this guy then they that mentioned about smuggling in drugs in one of her. Do you know that this guy was not arrested? He was not apprehended for anything that he does, but he was being Sumba was being detained because of that. So you can imagine those things are just one of the things that needed a serious caution in Nigeria. That those people go to school because of they train themselves to make sure that they stay day and night. At night, at 2 a.m. he's not sleeping, trying to discover some things that is actually going the illegal stuff that is going on in Nigeria. And then here he was being detained for this for what he thinks that was the best action, unless it's just going to be like let me be in an exile then where people is not going to find his address, where nobody is going to know where he is, and then he's just be like okay, my social media is going to be active 247, these are the people's names that I needed to mention. Because if he's not and he tries it,
We dealt with
yeah, yeah,
his entire family is going to be
apart
dealt
from
with.
him being dealt with, he is someone we trust, and I believe I understand where I
because
understand
the
where
person
you're
I'm
coming from.
asking, can you protect him? You can't.
I,
Nigeria
I,
won't stand up
Nigeria
for
no,
him.
will
I
exactly.
understand where you're coming from, but just imagine if he doesn't call these names, this case is going to die down, obviously.
Will the
After
government
it dies
will
down,
the
and
government do anything
we will
about
just
it?
keep walking, going in circles,
Will
going in
the
circles.
government do anything about it?
See,
This journalist he actually says that those oil bunkers that actually they don't just work on their own. Both the security personnel and the government actually assist them in some of those things, because this is not just a single barrel. This is almost a thousands of barrels of oil that of drugs that is being stored. So you can imagine how many people that is going to be in support of this thing, because it's like a free gift.
Yeah.
oh, well, I understand where you're coming from. In himself, he's trying to save himself, save his skin,
Exactly.
also, but
So let me ask: the Nigerian Army detention detained Desire to raised question about the use of law in Nigeria. What role should the military play in enforcing the law, and how can we ensure that they do so in a way that respects human rights?
well, we've actually lost a lot of trust in our
In
military in
Nigeria.
Nigeria in the whole. Because if we even say okay, these are what the military needs to do or the way they need to respect human life, it should just be as if we are giving advice because they will not look into it at all. They will definitely look at it.
One thing I expected is that every journalist in Nigeria should not even should at least like every journalism in Nigeria should made it to the top name of the military and the security personnel in Nigeria. Like those people shouldn't be someone they don't know. They should be someone that they are aware of.
Yeah.
They know their work, and then it's not as if that when they are going to see him, see those journalists among anything that is they feels like is bad, they are going to feel like this person we haven't met before. Because if I didn't expect a military should say that they didn't know that Fusa is actually a journalist unless he has to be the one to say it. Because this is the same thing that we are talking about. If the military and the government are actually on the side of this journalist, it's going to be easy. It's going to be easy for them to move freely and their security is being assured. Because how will you be a security personnel and then a journalist you don't know and is still in the same Nigeria? Those people has to be working together hand in hand. If what Fusayo investigates, he brings it to the security personnel, and then they are the one they needed to raid that place. If that is the possibility on it.
The trust issue we have in this is one of the things that is going to affect him because one, like he said earlier, he didn't disclose his identity when he was arrested, when he was detained. It was when they took him to I
The
think
division
division
six.
where he believed that this place is where the authorities are. Let me just open up myself. Immediately he opened up himself and made the situation known to
No,
people.
they,
Like
they still
two
didn't answer. Do you know what
two days later,
they says that even if they still need to do an investigation, even if it's going to take a month. It was when the Fusaya Foundation now came out to say that Fusaya has been detained by the military personnel. That is when they now say that, oh, so you are even a journalist. So they now bring the story to the oil bunkers that was being detained as well to show him the video that look at where he was being interviewed. Coming out and then you feels like your personal information that you just stated that was already being shared by the like whoa, this come on now, you guys should be calming down. Take a
The
issue.
worst that even paid this journalist was a military stealing his two phones. Like because people said it on Twitter. Saying
Yeah.
a military stole his two phones.
that one is not, it's normal thing. Even the police just because
No, like
stop
seriously,
there, stop there, hold on,
it's
the way
something
before something has
it's
missed.
something that the government needed to look
Yes.
into. Like those people should be well trained, and then those people needed to be well trained about everything that needed to be worked on. The journalists and the security personnel are supposed to work hand in hand. Then the government can just be the third party that is there. Not when the journalist is going to be like, I needed to show you my this is who I am, and then let me bring down a statement and all that.
So what implication does this have for the media industry and democracy as a whole?
uh, the media industry, whoever that says that they're actually studying investigating journalists in Nigeria would have so much doubt in Nigeria right now. Like they're not going to come out plainly to say that okay, this is what I have discovered.
You know, this is what
They,
I do.
this is what I do. The democracy in Nigeria is just going to they're going to say is already in shambles because no amount of truth that you actually discover that the government is not going to believe you. Even the military, if they are benefiting from it, they are going to tell you that we will look into it. Maybe you can still come back. In where he says that he actually discover where they sell babies, and then he bought one for 2 million naira. Take it to a place, this foundation that they should take care of this child, and then in the next thing, the door was closed. Like you can't see the child anymore. Like, I bought this child.
And he's even take like he pays them money to take care of
And
the
He
baby
said
you can
he has
imagine.
actually celebrated the baby's birthday for like 3 years or so.
So you
and
can
some people
imagine.
they just close the door at him. They said, okay, you can't see this baby anymore because of what?
Even if you wanted to go after them and say that you wanted to call
Sue them and all.
and nothing is still going to be done. Nigerian democracy is just I don't even know how to say, Jerry. It's
The democracy itself has been
it's crumbled.
it has come and it's already in
It
shambles,
has
but
crumbled.
it doesn't show.
You can't imagine
We
a
don't give the
journalist
meaning of that
not
democracy again.
trusting a security personnel
It's just a
in
word to
Nigeria.
us. We don't show the meaning of that democracy. We just call that name
Wow.
democracy. Yeah, to me, we're not going to.
This
We need to be colonized
this
again.
this is Nigeria.
Seriously,
This is Nigeria. So
because
imagine.
we didn't learn anything at all.
So this is Nigeria. How can you be in Nigeria and then you still wanted to feel like, okay, let me introduce myself to the security person? Okay, what if you now go to other countries? That is when you say that, okay, when you're meeting the security person, I need to introduce myself because they don't know who I am, so I needed to introduce myself. But here in Nigeria, um,
If you introduce yourself, they will give you another name. They will tell you it's a lie. Now you be this.
they'll deny that and tell you
They
that,
say it's a lie. It's not you.
ah, God, I beg you.
If you see when police is harassing a young man, you will just get tired because if you like tell them who you are and how you make your income, they will tell you it's a lie. They will not start telling you, is it this work they are doing that make you buy this car? This is what they, why should you be asking that kind of question when you don't have typical evidence? You just accuse people. There was even a time when they caught when they detained him. He told them it was an undercover journalist. He said it's a lie. There was a smuggler. It's part of it.
And he kept quiet. There's no point of defending yourself.
Bro, it's funny in Nigeria how everything has been lately. Like both the security, the government, the citizen, we are just like how will I even say it? Nobody is in a trust mood right now. I even not even talking about the journalists here, or you as an ordinary citizen, and then you have something that you needed to take to the security personnel. You're going to be like answer a thousand question, and then at the end you get zero outcome of it. Yeah, then you can just feel like, okay, let me just forget about it. Because you can't actually tell me that in Nigeria you have to fight for your life because you are an undercover security or journalist. No. If you say if you discover too much, you might be executed for life, and then nobody is going to hear from you again.
You must not even know too much in Nigeria.
You
If you
must not know too much. You must not fight for too much of the justice that is going on in Nigeria. This is really, really a blow to Nigerian government and the security personnel. I'm telling you,
Okay,
you
relax.
can't save the security, you can't save the journalists, and then everything is just. Omo, go.
Take am easy. Okay, viewers, in conclusion, remember, journalism is not a crime. The detention of Fisayo Osunbo is a state reminder of the challenges faced by journalists in Nigeria. We urge the authority to ensure the safety of all journalists. We will continue to monitor the situation and bring to you the latest updates. Join us again tomorrow for more news and updates. Until then, stay informed, stay safe, and stay tuned. I've been your host, Isola. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more news and updates on Global Entertainment TV show. God bless you.